Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby. I wanna look and feel years younger, baby.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Flashlight.
All right. What are we talking about?
Yeah. So, you know what is interesting now I think about it? The fact that there hasn't been any major news lately, it seems like.
Just shootings. Small one. Oh, I saw somebody say, like, that's how you know the pandemic is ending. The shootings are coming back.
It's true. Sadly. Actually, so this once I know we weren't going to talk about it, but this does go back somewhat to Michael Berry talking about this. Is one of the things that happens is crime does go up, and I wonder if we're going to see a large increase in crime, because if there's more poor people, you know, the gap in wealth is pretty obvious in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And so whenever that happens, crime goes up.
I was thinking differently. I was thinking it was going to be all the pent-up crazy during the pandemic.
I think it's combined, right? I think
Like-
I think both of those are right. Like mental health is down.
Yeah. And the economy's going to crash. So it's all going to go to shit.
I think people are already like stimmies were a way to like maybe thwart some of this for a little bit. But I think that's just like a temporary fix, right? Like, okay, well, people can pay the rent this month. You know, like $1,400 for a lot of poor people doesn't go that long.
So fuck GME. Load up on guns and ammo. That's the real lesson.
That might be the best stock. Actually, so one of these TikToks I watch is this girl interviews her dad, and her dad was a ex-spy in Russia during the Cold War. And so she just asks some random questions. Half the time he just answers, I can't really say anything about that. But one of the things she asks is, like, if World War III happens, and blah, 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 right? And she asked him if he owns a gun, and he said no. And so, like, the next one, people are like, why don't you own a gun if you think, like, World War III happens? And he's like, I prefer a knife. Plus, if World War III happens and it's fought on the ground, there will be people with guns who are dead and don't need them, and you can pick them up and use them. It's like, damn, that's dark, but probably true. And he was also worried because people who own guns, a lot of times people in the household use them. Kids get a hold of them, or people use them on themselves or on family members, whether on accident or on purpose. It's just like that automatically increases the chances of that happening greatly, right? So he just says, yeah, I just prefer a knife. Which I could see. In close combat, I'd prefer a knife in close combat.
Yeah, no, I think I'll go with the gun.
No, I prefer a knife. I've done knife defenses and gun defenses, and knives are much scarier. Because a gun you got your one or two shots, and if you miss, even if you hit, really,
if you miss,
the person still has a chance. Like, unless you hit them in the head or somewhere where they're going down,
no,
they still have a chance to like tackle you, get the gun from you, and use it on you. What's that?
They're fake in knife and you've done knife and gun defense, but they're fake. They're fake gun and knife.
Yeah, but it gives you an idea of how those would play out, and you can watch videos of this happening too. With a knife, though, it's even if you successfully like take a knife.
You can watch videos, Zach. You can watch that guy that shot up the church not church. What is it? What do Muslims go to? They go to something. You don't want
Yeah,
to
that's not
shoot
really
up that
self-defense, though. That's somebody's
place.
coming in with
they
a...
tried to defend. They didn't work.
I'm talking more like not somebody coming in with a automatic gun and shooting you. I'm talking like... I mean, certainly an automatic gun versus a knife, you're probably going to lose.
Well, you think someone's coming in with a musket?
No, I'm talking about like a handgun, man.
A handgun fires automatically. They will be...
It also depends on that distance, too. Like, 30 feet? Yeah, I'd rather have a gun.
Yeah, why would they get close to you?
10 feet?
Run up to you and be like, hey, you!
It just depends, right? If we're talking about, like,
I don't think so.
you know, like if somebody's invading my home, would I rather fight a guy that has the gun or the knife? How close am I? I'm probably going to get close to him in my house, right?
If he's retarded or something.
It just depends, right?
No, I think I'm still going. I would rather a knife. I could like smack away from me.
See, that's where you're wrong. That's what you think.
So.
Knife defenses, it's basically every time I do it, it's like, well, certainly I got that knife away from you, but I'm pretty sure I've been sliced in every part of my body in the meantime.
Yeah, you know what you can do about a knife, though, Zach? You can run.
You can do that with the gun too.
No, because they shoot you in the back.
I think you overestimate how easy it is to shoot somebody from a distance. Like, you've shot guns before. You think it's easy until you try it, and you're like, wow.
No. It depends on the distance.
As
long as you're somewhat close, but not too close that they can touch you, you're going to win.
That's what I'm saying. This is all... But that you underestimate how quickly somebody can cover.
You're not going to convince me
20
a gun
feet
and is going to be a better weapon than a knife.
I think it
or
all.
A white knife is going to be a better weapon than a gun. No, even point blank range, I would.
Point blank range, I'll definitely rather have a knife. Why do you think they have bayonets?
Because they're on guns where you run out of ammo.
No, they're on guns for when people get close.
Zach, you have a gun, and you think about the close range. You just go backwards. And shoot while you're going back.
I don't think you understand that. You want to do what you want to do, but the other person wants to do what they want to do, which is tackle you.
Next time you visit me, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna get one of those little plastic Nerf guns.
Yes.
And if I shoot you before you disarm me, I win.
Okay. Oh, I've done this. Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
Okay, but I'm gonna be.
But remember, you have to draw the gun
3 feet away. No, why do I have to draw?
You don't have a gun drawn at all times.
With a gun out.
Who walks around with their gun in their hand?
If in the post-apocalypse?
You got me there. That's true. If it's post-apocalypse.
Okay, if that was the thing, is knife or guy with a gun not drawn. Guy has knife out, guy has gun not drawn, and you're doing a fight up close. I'll grant you a knife is better in that scenario. That rare scenario.
That's not
where the
rare.
guy doesn't have the gun out.
That's how most fights happen with a gun.
Like
somebody goes to grab
random, like bar fights, maybe.
Yeah. Where do you think a lot of fights happen like that?
And I'm gonna like rob people. I'm gonna have the gun out. If I'm in the post-apocalypse and I want to start killing people, I'm gonna have the gun out. I'm not gonna wait to draw. I'm gonna have it out.
I concede to you in the post-apocalyptic, it does make more sense because you will have it always drawn.
If that was your argument, that if it was gun holstered versus knife out, definitely, and you're up close, and the guy doesn't have time to draw, then of course I'd rather like try to stop a guy from drawing a gun.
Yeah,
win in that fight.
Yes.
Knife, you would get cut up trying to take it out.
Exactly.
But if the guy has the gun drawn, as long as it's not like an old-timey gun, he can get many shots off. Many shots. Way more than you'll ever be able to
like I said, I will concede to you in post-apocalyptic scenario, if you probably would have your gun always armed and ready. You're not going to walk around with it holstered. You probably won't even have a holster for it. It's probably just like your watch. It's just always in your hand, ready to go.
Mm-hmm. All right. What else are we talking about other than gun fight versus knife fight? Why did we talk about this?
I honestly don't remember how we even got to that subject, per usual. I've been drinking some wine.
I'm on, what do I have? I have rum.
Rum? Just rum on the rocks, it sounds like?
I was drinking it with acai juice. Randomly. Because
Side juice?
Acai. Acai.
Oh.
I think it's pronounced acai.
What the hell's that?
Hipster berry.
How did you spell it? Side juice?
ACAI.
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Too
they have,
hipster.
like,
You've been watching like YouTube videos to like make fancy drinks.
No, I live in the Bay Area, and there are these random places that sell these in place of ice cream. Like,
you just live in
you can
hipster
make
area.
Ice cream with it. Yeah.
You live in like hipster central.
Pretty much, yeah. So that's why I know what that is, and it's actually pretty good. It's not bad.
Well, the thing about hipsters, so we always joke about hipsters and stuff, but like, you go to a hipster coffee shop, you're gonna get great coffee because hipsters know their shit.
Yeah.
Like, hipsters,
But
I
it's
think,
not
is just a
something
new
that-
term for a geek about something cool.
But it's not something to revolve your life around.
Yeah, but that's like the hipster, right?
Yeah.
They revolve their life around something kind of cool, like alcohol or coffee. And food. Restaurants are like kind of hipster now too, right? They have like really fancy.
Yeah.
It's geek with a taste of fancy. That's hipster.
Yeah, but it's got like, I don't know.
What?
Like trying to be authentic, but being even less authentic. A lot of them.
Yeah. What's authentic
Like,
mean
there's-
though? Like, what do you mean?
There's only so good coffee can be, man. Calm down.
Yeah, but that's
You
not
know what I mean?
authentic, right? It's
Like, no. Like,
They're
they
full of
really
themselves.
No, just like, I don't know. Like, oh, you don't drink coffee unless you drink X coffee. Dude, it's fucking coffee. It's just drink it. It can be basically as long Folgers, whatever, random.
okay. I think it's just like wine, though, right?
Yeah.
At a certain point, wine can only be so
Perfect.
good. But there is
Perfect.
bad wine.
There's the authenticity part. Like, the most snobbish people with wine
Yes, that's what it
are
is.
talking about, like, the most expensive ones and the rare ones and blah blah blah.
But like,
But meanwhile, in taste tests, like the ones that are usually pretty reasonably priced blow the expensive ones away. Like, if you don't tell them that this is an expensive wine, people will mostly prefer the reasonably priced ones.
yeah, that's what I think. I think there's a ceiling for how expensive a wine can
And-
be with taste. Same with coffee.
And for a lot of experts, they can pour the wines and not tell them, and they won't be able to tell the expensive ones from the fake ones apart.
Yeah.
That's the inauthenticity, where it's like they don't.
I see what you're
really
saying. Yeah.
know, they're just trying to get cred from
Yeah. No, I
Like,
agree with that.
knowing this. Yeah.
But my point is, you still can have like really bad coffee and really good coffee. But like really good coffee can only be so expensive before it's like this is no longer worth the price type with good coffee. Like there's a limit. It's like once you get to like a certain dollar amount, it's like the coffee can only be so good. But you can have
Yeah.
bad coffee.
Yeah, I'm pissing on the podcast again. My coworker one of my coworkers brought in that cat shit coffie.
Yeah. Did you try it?
I declined. No.
Why?
Declined.
I would.
Because
try
it's
it.
from cat shit. But she was letting other people try it, and
Did they know it was cat shit?
mine. I don't know for sure.
Because they have a name for it that's not cat shit coffee.
Yes, exactly. And when she asked me, if she didn't tell me that when she asked, but I knew. And somebody said, why? And I said, because I know it's not whatever.
Because you're like, I know
Not
what it's
just-
made from.
I said, like, it's not just a name or whatever it is. Something along those lines, which makes me think the other people didn't know, but I don't know for sure. Because it's a popular thing people know, so maybe they knew. But they also weren't blown away. They were just like, yeah, it's good. I don't know.
Yeah. I would try it, but, like, I got a feeling it just tastes like good coffee, you know? Like
You'd try it. Okay, here's Zach.
Nothing crazy.
Let's try another experiment in addition to our gun knife thing when you visit. Next time you visit, I'm going to eat a lot of coffee beans. And I'm going to shit. I'm going to go and I'm going to collect the coffee beans out of it. And I'm going to brew a little cup for you. And maybe it'll be good. You never know.
I got a feeling there's a little more sanitation involved in making the cat shit coffee.
I'll wash them. I'll wash them.
Oh, you'll wash it. You'll wash your poop?
Yes, I probably. No, I'll pick the beans out. Whatever didn't digest perfectly. I think that's actually the problem. You can't do it with humans because
we digest
cats,
it.
I don't think actually digest it. Yeah,
that's the whole point.
It's like corn to us, you know. It just right out.
And that's exactly what they do. Is like it's whole bean still, so they can sanitize it a little bit and grind it after it's been through their digestive tract.
Yeah.
You realize that means somebody's job is to sift through cat shit and get beans out of it? Somebody gets paid to do that.
Probably. Reminds
Dirty Jobs episode.
Cheech and Chong. What is it?
I said we need a Dirty Jobs episode on this.
Oh, yeah.
What are, with the Cheech? Oh, it's dog shit, man.
Yeah, you smoking dog shit.
It really is, dude. They're ahead of their time. Wonder if that's where they got the idea.
Yeah, probably.
You'd think somebody like had a cat that ate some like coffee and they're like, oh fuck, that was really expensive coffee. Like I really need coffee. And it shit it, and they saw like whole beans were still in there, and they're like, maybe I just picked that out, and they did it.
No, you know
and
what
I
like, think happened?
Damn, that was really good.
It was where is it from? It's from like some South American country.
I have no idea, dude.
Peru.
I remember it was in China,
like
wasn't it? There was like places selling it in China, and we were talking about getting it.
I think what they thought is somewhere there was like someone there being like, American likes hipster shit. Hipsters love something. They want to feel better than you about something. And we can sell something at a premium. Let's lie and just say this came out of a cat's asshole. Yeah, they'll probably believe that. It was probably on a podcast just like this. And they came up with that idea. And you know what? It actually worked.
That sounds like something we would come up with.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we can one-up them. We can take it through that digestive system of large cats, like tiger coffee or lion coffee.
No, you know what I think? Like we gotta up it. Like it can't just be out of like a bigger cat. Like I'm thinking it's gotta be like beans shot into outer space and eventually make it back.
Tesla coffee?
Yeah.
SpaceX coffee?
These beans have been in outer space. They've orbited.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. People would buy the fuck out of SpaceX coffee if it like this has been in space and back. Why is NASA not doing this?
And it's been in Elon Musk's asshole.
He ate it and shit it out. And then they put it into space, and then it came back, and then they made it into coffee.
So much markup for this. That's how he's gonna fund it.
That's how the stock's gonna go up. That's how he's gonna fight the shorters. With SpaceX Musk shit coffee. Oh, I wonder if he's ever actually going to finish those like tunnels in California with the cars.
I don't know. That seems like such a high, I don't know, a stretch goal, you know?
A stretch goal, like a Kickstarter project?
Is that what they call them on Kickstarter?
Yeah, like if you get to like 100,000, they add this to the game. If you get to like 200,000, they add this to the game.
I don't know where I know that term. Probably corporate speak is a stretch goal.
Yeah, it's definitely corporate
speak. Because I didn't know that about Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they have stretch goals.
Like it doesn't seem like that's something you could actually achieve unless you got really lucky.
But he's building them though. Like he's boring tunnels and he's testing it.
Yeah, but still, there's so much legal shit and
that's true.
Who knows?
But you know, when you're a multi-billionaire, somehow you can get around legal shit. A little easier.
As much as you think, though.
Really? I think you can.
Yeah. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he could murder a few people. He'd get out of it. Like, that'd be fine. But when you mess with city bureaucrats, no. They're going to stop you.
Yeah, it's when you mess with other people who have lots of money.
Other people with governmental power.
Yes. That don't want to lose their governmental power.
He could kill so many homeless people.
He really could. He probably could. Who knows? His stock might soar because he would be in the headlines. After an initial dip. He was talking a lot about Dogecoin, but it's very meme.
Yeah,
talking
it's
about.
So crazy.
I don't even know how Dogecoin is worth 5 cents at this point. Or whatever it's worth.
I don't know how Elon Musk chooses what to tweet about. It seems like he just... Like, he goes on Reddit, okay? He finds the most popular things being talked about.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. He prints them out, puts it on a dartboard, and he throws the darts. Like, that's really it.
I guarantee you we're not that far off on how he does it. I bet you there's actually just... He probably has a program that crawls Reddit and like, here's the most popular topics. And he just chooses, yeah, I'll talk about Dogecoin. Or I'll talk about that.
Yeah.
He very much tries to keep up with like current memes and stuff, right? Like...
Yeah.
Things he knows will get him news.
The guy has to work all day.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't. I can't figure it out. Because he claims like he basically sleeps at the office and works all the time.
That's what he
But
claims.
He must be rereading Reddit all the goddamn time because he's ahead of the memes than me.
Yeah, like he might have somebody on his staff that is just directly like, he has an hour or a half hour to like, all right, give me all the memes, update me on the memes. I'm telling you, I bet you he does. I bet you he has a staffer.
Got, like, Joe Rogan's, what's his name? What's the guy?
Jamie? It's like his Jamie?
Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume the guy, Elon Musk's guy's name is Jamie, too. There's just a bunch of Jamies.
It's just Jamie.
It's like, Jamie, tell me the memes today.
It's like the presidential briefings where they like brief about things going on.
Yeah.
And like, here's how we can handle this, except it's just all memes that are going on. Dogecoin is hot right now.
Right. Tweet some sick memes about this.
Did he ever tweet about Tiger King?
I almost guarantee. I want to look it up now.
Because I think this would just prove our theory. This is a hypothesis. Let's prove the theory.
Yeah. There's things saying Elon Musk is the Tiger King of technology was the first hit.
I'm trying to find it too. Well, let me see.
I'm not finding too much.
I'm looking here. Apparently, Carol Baskins randomly talked about Dogecoin. Yeah. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, me too.
Since they're both talking about it.
I don't know. He must have missed that meme.
He must have
been
missed.
Busy at the time.
Oh, nope. He has a tweet. You ready? April 29th.
Okay.
2020. Uh-huh. So this is very, very close to the time of Joe Exotic, right?
When it was popular, yeah.
His tweet was, "Free Joe Exotic now," all in caps. Bam.
It really is. It's like the most, I don't know, like just be in the mainstream of what everyone else is
Yeah,
doing.
he's just in the zeitgeist, man.
And just like also say that like something that some people will agree with, but other people will be like, but that doesn't make sense because he was blah, blah, blah. It just generates, it's like the Donald Trump strategy.
It really
like,
is.
Just keep attention on me. I just want attention.
And he's kind of become a meme himself, right? So he kind of knows how to play the game.
Yeah, that's...
Like he went on Joe Rogan podcast and him smoking the weed is a huge meme.
All right, Zach. What do you think the odds are? Trump, Musk, same person. He just puts on like a fat suit and the...
I've never seen them in the same room together.
Yeah. He puts on the fat suit and then I guess he just like fucks up his hair.
I don't know. It's
like,
just an entire fat suit that includes wig.
He just powders his face with the little Cheeto dust. And then he goes out.
We figured it out here, ladies and gents. Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
Plus Cheeto
same
dust
person.
equals Donald Trump.
It must have really hurt him when he was banned from Twitter. Speaking of which, isn't it kind of crazy? Like, Donald Trump is like literally out of the like zeitgeist now.
Oh, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
Yeah. Like he just kind of.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was like.
It just showed like the tech companies are one a cartel.
Yeah, they kind of are,
Two,
right?
have a huge amount of power. They are such a cartel.
Yeah. What is
You
your?
shouldn't say that. They might, ban us.
What is your stance on like? Do you think like at this point like a Twitter is a freedom of speech issue?
No, this is where like going back to our last podcast where we were talking with Harry, where it's like I'm mostly a libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
But like I have like the government should not allow cartels. They should not allow monopolies. They should not allow X. I think they should break up companies if it's very clear they're colluding. Like if companies collude to effectively form a monopoly, then the government should step in.
But can you say that's what's the monopoly? Like do you think Twitter has a monopoly?
Access, definitely.
Access to what?
No. Twitter doesn't have a monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
Google doesn't have a monopoly. Facebook doesn't have a monopoly.
Yeah.
So that's what a cartel is where they don't have monopoly. Right?
But together they're a cartel that work if they work together.
Yeah, if they work together, they form a monopoly. That's why cartels are illegal, right? Because they can create monopolies.
Well,
and that is unbelievably clearly what they are. They are clearly a cartel.
I never would have thought of them as a cartel, but that is a good way to explain what they kind of are.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm for some government intervention. As libertarian,
what do you do though? Like, what's the government intervention? Hey, you guys, stop working together.
No, yeah, typically, you fine, and then you break up into even smaller units. You pass some regulations. Like AT&T, that's what they did, right? They broke them up into really smaller companies, a lot smaller.
But the problem is, once you have companies this large, like Facebook...
I know they fined gas companies when they found they were colluding on gas prices.
Yeah, but they're still around. They're still doing fine.
Yeah, but they still had to pay money when they break the rules, obviously. Like, if you are clearly colluding.
Mm-hmm. But...
Oh, yeah, and there's that movie with Matt Damon about collusion among... it was like... He was some sort of chemist, right?
I don't
remember
remember
that
this.
movie?
Who was colluding?
He was colluding... The companies were colluding, and he was a whistleblower. It was like 10 years ago, a big movie. I'm pretty sure it was Matt Damon. He was a chemist, and he blew the whistle on this big international conspiracy. And then, like, it was like everybody in America was being, a victim of these companies basically getting together and raising prices.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it was something. I'm like, God damn.
Just
now I want to look
Google
it up because it was like, it's one of those things that was like it had a lot of press at the time.
Yeah, I don't.
But then became not a big thing.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
I'm pretty sure Matt Damon was the chemist.
The problem is, do you think these companies have become so large? Once again, we're talking about like they can affect laws. They can affect the people who make the laws and bribe them to not make laws against this. Like when you
It's not We Bought a Zoo.
What? It's not Team America.
The Informant. It's got to be the Informant.
The Informant. It's definitely the Informant.
Yeah, agro-business giant with a price-fixing accusation.
Agriculture?
So price-fixing.
Like crops?
Yeah, because they were talking about cereal. Like, cereal is way more expensive than it should be because these companies were getting together and, like, discussing prices when that's clearly illegal.
Really? Cereal's, like, cheap as fuck, though.
Well, this was... I don't know when this was set, but they basically had a cartel on, like, cereal. Or
Cereal cartel?
They did.
That's fucking insane.
Agro. So it would have been agriculture altogether, probably.
Yeah, but cereal's probably a big one because that's a way to get rid of a lot of grain.
But yeah, I feel like, obviously, like, they prosecuted this because they were clearly a cartel. But the thing about tech companies is it's not like... It's
very not clear.
It's not price. It's information that they're a cartel of. So, like, they control information as a monopoly, but because it's not price fixing, it's not as easily understandable as a cartel, but it is because that information has a price. It's just given to you for free in a way. I don't know.
It's easy for you and us to see how they're a cartel, but to actually break it down in legalese to like prove that they're working together to control information, I feel like is pretty damn difficult.
Yeah.
Like
that's always the problem.
It's always just like new information being a product like this, like user information or use information that's sent to people. It's like news companies or newspapers working together to print the same stories. Is that really a cartel?
They don't work together. They compete to be the first, right?
But
is the idea is that's what they should.
But do they anymore?
I have no idea. That's the problem. Is I don't think this is a crime that gets prosecuted anywhere near as much as it happens.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you can, or if people do.
Yeah. No, because there was like. Now I want to look this up. Gas prices used.
But that's once again, that's easy. That's a price. You can. There's the price.
No. Like, that was used by people.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be too hard to figure out how to figure it out. But the idea was, so if gas companies' executives met in a room, obviously they're fucking going to talk about gas prices and fixing them, right?
I see what you're saying. So if, like, the execs of Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all those got together in a room.
Well... No. So there was something about, like, the executives instead, like, communicating with gas prices in specific locations.
What do you mean?
Right? This is pre-internet era.
Yeah.
So it was like, if they upped it by 2 cents, and then, like, the next guy figures out, 2 cents, and then they go up, and then they go up, they go down. Like, there's a way to communicate through the prices without ever meeting in a room and talking about the prices.
I see. It's almost like back in the day when ships had to communicate by flags.
Yeah, they communicated with their prices in the locations that they were in. And I don't have good enough Google Foo to find, like, I know I read an article about them doing this at one point. But anyways.
Gas prices always... The fact that gas prices like fluctuate so much day to day just kind of confuses me in general. Like how a gas price can be one price in the morning and one price at night kind of fucks me up. And
it's the same thing as the stock, right?
Yeah, it's just
like why does GME's change so much?
Yeah,
it's like there's a NPR does a podcast called Planet Money.
Yeah, I've
They have
listened
a
to it.
6-part series.
Oh,
it's
wow.
one of the best podcasts on economics about like how things get set, how these prices, like where these prices come from.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's like 10 years old at this point, but
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of economics podcasts, and people were talking about this one a lot because it was very good.
Yeah, that one does sound. Does they focus on gas prices and other things?
Yeah. So they like trace it to futures and all this stuff and all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the guy that is like looking at a pump, deciding whether or not to pump oil. And that guy looks at the prices and he decides, is it worth my time or not?
Really?
Right? Yeah.
That's what it basically all comes down to?
Really about.
But how does that?
That's what it always comes down to.
How does that so quickly
Eventually-
translate to a guy
it
at a
doesn't-
gas station going, okay?
That's the point. It doesn't quickly. No. Not the guy at the gas station. The guy pumping oil.
No. I'm saying, but how's that go all the way to the guy at the gas station going, okay, I got to increase the price to this?
Because there are a bunch of futures traders and all this, and they're setting the price based on what they think the people that are doing the oil drilling are going to do.
Huh.
Right?
So they're kind of speculating on if they're going to drill or not.
Yeah, there's basically layers upon layers of speculation all the way down until it's the person that's actually drilling for oil.
That's fucking
And
insane.
he either decides like there's like a point where he's like, well, I'm just gonna call it a day and go home today. Like, I don't think it's worth setting up more oil drills. Like, that's it. And then like, okay, because of that, the price might be a little lower today.
Weird.
And that's what it always is. It's like if the guy decides not to pick more fruit, if the farmer decides, well, it's not worth my time to pick all this fruit, I'll just let it rot, prices are going to go up because there's less fruit on the
Because it's less
market.
fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, that makes sense, but it's also fucking weird to think about.
Eventually, it all gets to the real thing.
Yeah.
The real work being done. It has to, right?
Yeah.
It has to eventually get to the real
It's-
work. That's why I think GME ultimately isn't worth that much. Because it has to get to the real value. Like,
Yeah, eventually.
there can be crazy speculation, but ultimately,
People are still
GameStop,
waiting for
like,
the actual
worth that much
squeeze,
money?
too, right now. That's why it's so high.
Post squeeze, there might be crazy shit going on during all the financial,
Yeah.
but ultimately, it has to get back down eventually to like, what is GameStop really worth? What is it
Yeah.
really worth?
So right now, it's still waiting on a squeeze, so it's being speculated, and that's why it's still at like almost $200. But after the squeeze, it's still going to be speculated on because of all these execs and stuff being hired and stuff. So
Yeah.
it'll be a while.
Things can go like speculated for like decade.
Yeah, it's going to be speculated on for a
Like-
while.
The housing like collapse, like everyone was saying it was overvalued for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But eventually it did come back down to where it was like, yeah, okay, that's actually about what it's worth.
The problem is we've been in that gestation period again for 10 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I never would think it makes sense. You know, it all eventually comes down to the guy whether or not they pump the oil.
Yeah.
But it's so many steps and like the price changes so frequently that I guess it makes sense since it's speculation
yeah.
on price.
And people speculating on the speculators. That's what you're doing when you think about the shorters.
Yeah,
The
of course.
shorters
Yeah,
are
yeah.
speculators, and you're thinking, what are the people that are speculating that it'll go down? Like, are they too like eager for it to go down? Well, then I'll speculate on it, going up because they're too eager for it to go down.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't think the
You know,
squeezes happen with everything I've seen.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It is very insane. Speculation is just a weird market, I guess, to be in. But you're right. It basically is what I'm doing by betting on GameStop.
Yeah, it's just not different than going and placing a bet on your sports team to win.
Yeah, that's why I said betting. What's great, though, is you have a whole community that says, yeah, I'm also going to bet on it. And that actually fuels the bet.
Yeah.
Wall Street Bets, actually, I stopped kind of going there as much because it's kind of been like overrun.
Yeah, I haven't gone in a month or two.
If you notice,
it used to be hilarious. It used to crack me the fuck up. Now it's just...
It's too many people in there. It's like...
Yeah, just all about this one's going up, this one's going down. Like, it's not that funny.
Yeah, so that's why I started going to GME. And that's where I saw like all the... It's like what Wall Street Bets used to have, like really long like due diligence posts about GME and other stuff. And you're like, oh, this is actually like real information. And of course, people still calling each other smooth brain and all that stuff.
Smooth brain. See, I've been out of it. I don't know smooth brain.
Smooth brain ape? Like you got no wrinkles in your brain?
No, that's a new thing. That wasn't, a thing a while ago. A while ago, the last time I remember being really confused on Wall Street Bets, this was before GME.
Uh-huh.
And I still don't know what it means.
What?
They're just a bunch of fruits.
Yeah, I don't know.
I never could figure it out.
I don't know anything about fruits.
It wasn't Apple, because they'd do Apple for the Apple stock.
Uh-huh.
But then they started doing other, fruits, and I guess it was because this is when Apple went from 1 trillion to 2 trillion.
Uh-huh.
And then I guess it was like some sort of play off of Apple, and now it's going to be Peach is going to double next. Or something. I couldn't figure it out. I honestly couldn't. Like, I was sitting there, loading the next threads and trying to figure out...
It's like a whole different world.
What does all this shit even mean?
Yeah.
But I still don't know.
Yep.
I'll never get closure. I'll never know what the fuck they were talking about. And I tried really hard to understand what the hell they were talking about.
That's like when this first broke, before, Wall Street Bets kind of got overran by too many people. Like, I just imagine the hedge funds going like, who are these fucking Wall Street bettors? And, them reading, who caused this? Who caused them to lose all this billions of dollars? Just cracks me up for them to read that shit. Them just calling each other retarded. Posting how much money they lost.
Yep. See? Just like it ultimately comes down to the random guy pumping oil. Sometimes it just comes down to the random retard throwing money at
it really
dumb
did.
Shit.
Well, so that those articles I posted to you about the market crashing and everything, they talk about how GME is just like a catalyst that kind of exposed a lot of this because all that happened. Because Citadel is one of the big hedge funds that was doing the whole repo and whatever they called them, the other kind of reverse repos, which are the CDO type things.
Okay, hold on. This is a lot of terminology. I gotta think through this. That a repo is a repurchase agreement.
Yes, and then there's reverse repos.
Asset, and then you'll buy the asset back for them for a guaranteed price.
Mm-hmm. So that's the reverse repo.
What's the reverse repo must then be okay, if I give you an asset and I promise to buy it back, that must be I give you money and you're going to buy an asset back from me?
Dude, I don't... Like I said, you would need to read it because you would understand it probably better.
Okay.
I know a lot of them, kind of compared it, which made sense to, a pawn shop with some of this stuff.
Yeah. Sort of.
Yeah,
that's what a repurchase agreement is basically a pawn shop.
Yeah.
You're giving it to them, and then you'll buy it back for them for a price that you already agreed on. It's actually just a weird way to get around a bunch of regulations when you go back to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's really weird.
So, yeah, basically, here, I can actually post the picture in the thread.
Oh, man. I'm probably not going to read all this.
Oh, I'm just posting the picture of the repos. Can I copy and paste images in here? Bam. That just shows, the repos. Kind of... But anyways, U.S. Treasury bonds right now, their percent of return are negative. So technically, they'll pay you to buy their bonds.
Pay you to buy their bonds.
So like,
no.
They compared it to, if you pawn something for $100, when you go to buy it back, you pay them $106, right? Well, now you give them $100, you go back to get your collateral, and only have to pay $95 basically. So you net.
Yes,
money.
okay, that's right. You're not paying somebody. Well, hold on.
Well, you're eventually being paid $5 because you get $100 for them to have the collateral.
How bonds normally work is you pay money for the bond, and they take the money, the other person, right?
Yeah.
And they'll pay you back a premium. They'll give you some money back on top of it. That's what the bond is it's just basically an IOU.
Yes.
Plus some interest. It's basically a loan, a very normal loan.
Yes.
Yes.
Except that now it's a loan with negative interest.
Yeah, at very short terms, the easier way to understand it is basically if you loan money for very short term, you have to pay.
Yeah. Because you want a bond to last, what is it, like 10 years or something? Like, depending on the years?
10 year isn't negative, I don't think. I'm pretty sure 10 year isn't negative. Like a 3 month is probably negative.
No, that's what they're saying is the bonds rate is negative now.
Hold on, let's
for a long-term bond.
Long-term?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Long-term isn't. Minus inflation, probably.
Because normally, yes,
You're
would.
talking minus inflation.
Because normally, like you said, normally you would get money back. Where is it?
No, hold on. 1 month? No. It's not. They're not negative at all. Like I don't think they've gone negative. So 1 month is 0.02%. 6 months is 4. 2 years 0.17. The 3 year is 0.35. 7 years 137. 10 years 1.69.
Yeah, I'll look up where they're talking about that.
You don't have to. I know this well enough.
Anyways,
okay.
It's fucking crazy.
What you're talking about is inflation factored into it. So the real return, or the nominal return is definitely positive. So if you put a 1 month, not 10 year, forget about 10 year, those are even higher. 1 month, you'll get 0.02% back.
Gotcha.
If you lend money, you get 0.02% back. But inflation is probably higher than 0.02% per month. Almost certainly. So in that way, it's ultimately probably negative.
So here's the thing that they said. So they are shorting the 10-year bond market. So there's been 3 instances over the past year where the repo rate dipped below the failure rate of minus 3%. So on March 4th of 2021, the repo rate hit negative 4.25%, which means that investors were willing to pay 4.25 interest to lend their own money in exchange for a 10-year treasury bond.
Okay, it went negative for a brief period. That has happened
for 3 instances over the past year.
Yeah. So they're not negative, but they have currently. They have definitely gone negative briefly here and there.
Yes, in just the past year.
Yeah. These are all parts of rules where, like, basically, like you say, they have to cover positions, right?
Yeah.
They have to own 10-year yields, which means no matter what the price is, even if it goes, it's the same thing with the oil going negative. Only because of rules do they ever go negative, because it would never make sense to lend money out and pay somebody to lend money to them. Only when you are required by law to be able to, like, hold these 10 years would you do that. And so it's definitely been happening, yes. And then that's unusual. But no, regularly, these are not negative.
Regularly, yes.
Right now, today, the posted rates
also,
they're not negative. Tomorrow, they won't be negative. Rare instances, and recently, increasingly happeningly,
That's the problem.
they go negative.
Also, I showed you the
See, this is
repo.
where you got to really think about what that means.
The repo
I
rate
don't know right now.
over the past few years to show you why people are concerned.
This is...
You can see in 2019 like giant spikes.
What's the y-axis? This is the price
I think it's
what?
the percent, I think.
No, this is price, but it's price of... Oh, this must be... Okay, this is the overnight... This is the amount
Yeah, it's the
you
overnight
pay
percentage.
to a bank for a very quick loan. So this is like... Because I know that the night Lehman's crashed, it went like crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that Q1?
No.
Oh, the Lehman's. That's
2008.
the 2008 one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is... I'm too drunk to go over this.
Anyways, well, we were not going to go into it, and then we got into it.
What else is going on? Or let's try to steer clear from U.S. news, because it'll eventually just lead us back into the world is fucked up.
Yeah, because right now the U.S. news, the only news we have is that the economy is going to probably crash eventually. It's really how much and how badly.
It's like... But okay, before we move on the topic, my last bit of piece is like, on the run up to 2008, like, I also like thought like housing prices were insane.
Yeah.
Like way before that crashed. Years. Like I remember I graduated and was going to try to rent an apartment, and one place the people just talked to me about buying. I was like, dude, I'm fresh out of college and I owe my parents a couple $100. Like, I can't buy a house.
What the fuck are you talking about,
that's all
dog?
they wanted to talk about is
Who wanted
a
to talk
house.
to you
And
about
like,
this?
I was going to rent a place.
Oh, and they talked
And
to
then
you
they
about
were
buying the actual
uninterested.
house.
Yeah, and I was very clear, like, I just want to rent an apartment or rent a house.
What the fuck?
And then they were just like, they just ignored me like I didn't exist at this point. And, like, it was absurd how high the prices in houses were. But it still went on for years. It still just kept going crazy until it finally crashed. That's where, like,
Yeah.
eventually.
I don't know. I'm not
You
in the
have
housing
no
market.
idea how long this shit will go. No idea.
Yeah. I'm not in the housing market to know how that's going right now. Nobody's offered me a house.
Shockingly, despite pandemic, it's been going up. You would have... Even in the Bay Area, where people are bailing.
That does sound
everyone's
bad.
leaving. And yet somehow the prices go up. And I go, but that doesn't make sense. Fuck you, it doesn't matter. They're going up.
Fuck. Did you get stimmied?
No, I didn't get any goddamn stimmy.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, you mean like
that's
how...
Yeah, that's
No,
what they're
because,
saying.
Like, stimmies wouldn't put a dent in the housing.
No,
market.
it shouldn't.
Like, a house here costs well over $1 million. $1,400 ain't gonna do shit to that.
So I agree with you because I think during the pandemic and like right before, we talked a lot about how the stock market and housing market were eventually going to crash, and instead they boomed.
Yeah. So you have no idea how long it can go.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
It's crazy.
Again, I want you should read that Random Walk. Down
I'm
Wall
reading
Street.
which one am I reading right now? I think that's the one I am reading.
It's either that or the Black Swan.
I think I'm reading the Random Walk because because
You know
they
the
just
Black
went
Swan,
over the
you mentioned
electric
a lot.
one. They went over the electric stuff.
Yeah. That's that one. I think the Black Swan's more readable because the author is really funny. He has a great sense of humor. But the Random Walk is really good too, and it's probably more classic. I don't
Well,
know.
the
It's
Random
definitely
Walk
good.
I have on Audible, so I can only read it in chunks of time because it's just like somebody reading that to you. It's like a little, oof, a lot of info there, guy. He's not like a super interesting reader, you know.
Yeah. But that's definitely a good one. Like, read that. It's the better, broader overview of like how markets work and what the different sectors of the economy are, or sectors of like investing are, and what the differences are. And
yeah, I do like
a
that
lot
one so far.
Yeah, it's good. I think the Black Swan is more like philosophical about, like, it's not just investing. It even goes into life. Like, and you got to follow that guy on Twitter, the guy that wrote it, Caleb. He's always, a lot of it's math shit that you want to understand. Just ignore those ones.
What's his Twitter handle?
I don't know. Nassim Nicholas Taleb.
Like, I know how to spell any of that. I'm smooth brain, man.
Nicholas, I hope. That's the middle name.
Yeah, well, the middle name doesn't help.
Nassim, Nassim, and then the last name is Taleb, Taleb.
Yeah, see, Nassim brought up Nassim Taleb. If I typed Nicholas, I wasn't going to bring up shit. Yeah, I got him on Twitter.
Yeah.
I got him on the Twitter sphere.
Long before the CDC was saying wear a mask, that guy was like, wear a mask. Wear a mask, you idiots.
You fuck dum-dums.
Yeah. That's one thing he was like, that was a hill he was going to die on, and that was the very beginning of the pandemic. Before even Trump banned travel from China. It's like, dudes, you should start wearing a mask.
It doesn't even seem like that much of a, I don't even know how that became. I get initially it was weird in the United States to wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
Because we never did.
But
ever.
It's weird as fuck now, still.
Really? For you?
I don't know.
It's so I
don't go out enough.
It's part of the culture now, when I go out. It's just natural to put a mask on.
No, but I was just going to pick up food today, and I walked out of my car without the mask on. And then I was like, oh yeah, there's a pandemic, and I went back and got the mask.
Yeah, see,
it's just
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have more of a now it's a thing I don't leave the house without type thing. It's all right, I need my keys, my wallet, my phone, and my mask. It's become
still so strange,
habitual enough to where I don't even think about it.
See, I just have a weird mind where I just sit there and think, my God, we really are in the post-apocalypse now. Every time I put it on in public, I'm like, how long could it keep going?
Sometimes I do go out in public. I'm like, it's kind of weird that we're all wearing masks, huh? That thought does still pop in my head. Yeah, but it's still more habitual to wear it.
9/11, all of it. In my whole life, nothing has been so big of a... even the invention of smartphones, where people were just all of a sudden staring at their smartphone.
Yeah.
That was way more gradual.
Yes. Right?
It was just all of a sudden everyone has a mask on and it's normal, and no one questions it.
It was a very quick societal change that people are still fighting today.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll never understand that fight. Not wearing a mask.
I don't know.
I still think it was kind of the...
I understand that fight. I don't...
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Because it's not like it affects you to wear it. Just all you do is wear the mask. Just wear it.
Just don't wear it. I don't... This is my inherent libertarianism, 1. And 2, what if I don't care if I die?
Well, that's the thing, though. Wearing a mask doesn't necessarily mean just you don't die. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point?
Stay away from me. No, stay away from me.
It's kind of like seatbelts. The reason why I'm okay with seatbelts being legal is because you not wearing a seatbelt could affect me.
I'm all okay with a seatbelt.
I'm not. Because if you don't wear a seatbelt, it can affect other people. Because you can be thrown from your vehicle and kill other people.
Oh, come on. No, it's going to kill you. You don't kill people. Your random corpse flying through the air.
And head-on collisions? Absolutely.
No. I want you to find me an example of death by random flying corpse.
In a head-on collision, absolutely.
I know. I gotta see this. I won't believe this just telling.
I don't even know how to Google this.
Documented example. I have to find. Because I don't believe that. I don't. That's insane. A flying corpse killed a person? That would be
flying into another vehicle,
hilarious
yes.
sadly, but
I don't know how to.
so quite surprising.
I don't know how to Google that without just getting people who died without wearing a seatbelt.
No, I don't even think that's possible.
How's that not possible?
Because think it through. What is the maximum speed a corpse could be going?
60 or 70 on a head-on collision.
60 or 70.
Uh-huh. You don't think it can go through 2 windshields?
Okay, well, no, hold on. Let's think through physics here, Zach.
Uh-huh.
So it goes through one windshield. What happens to its velocity?
I don't know.
It drops. It goes through another windshield. What happens to its velocity? It drops.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And people have been hit by 100-mile-per-hour like fastballs constantly. It does damage, yes.
Yeah.
Does it kill? No. Unless you hit specifically the head at 100 miles per hour. A corpse flying at like 40 miles-ish, I don't think it's killing you.
Well, you know what?
It hurts.
So I do get
but it's not gonna kill
a little bit of info on this. It sounds like kind of airbags have kind of like absolved any chance of this because now you just basically fly into an airbag if you're not wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah. And, dude, corpses can't be propelled that fast. There's just no way. Like, if the max speed of the vehicle is, let's say, 100, okay, then that means the corpse was going 100 at the moment of impact, okay? The moment of impact decelerates the corpse and the car. So now it's going, let's say...
Well, that's not true, right? When they impact, the point is the body continues to move, right? So it doesn't decelerate as much as the car.
You're okay. So if they're not wearing a seatbelt,
yeah, because they're not decelerated, so they could still be going 80, 90
exactly with a car.
What's that?
But once they if they were wearing the seatbelt, it would decelerate mostly on par with a car.
Yes, but the point is not wearing the seatbelt, so they're not.
Once
stopped.
they go through that windshield did stop, right? And they're going
but windshields are made to be broken pretty easily.
No, because you get like things hit all the time. I get like little rocks hitting it, so they're not that easy
and it cracks
to break at all.
Right? From a little rock.
They're not that easy to break.
So now we're talking about 150,
200
200-pound body flying through it. How easily do you think?
200, like people are that big, but okay, let's take
150 to 200. That's a pretty reasonable range.
Have to fly through this and crack the entire window and still be propelled.
Yes.
Still be propelled forward.
I definitely think they
that
propel.
That is so decelerating them. Like I'd say at least like 50%.
I would say you're way off on 50% for cracking through a windshield, man.
There's no way.
Yeah, I think you're way off.
No, people take hammers to windshields and it doesn't break them.
No, I think you're way off on that.
I don't think so.
You don't think your windshield would break from a hammer? What are you talking about?
To go through.
They're made to break and shatter.
No. They're not made to break because they obviously take hammers.
They're made to not to shatter easily if they're going to shatter.
I don't get this because I've seen them hit with hammers and they don't break. They don't break with a hammer, and hammers have a lot of fucking force. They have a lot more than 100 miles per hour.
I've never seen this hammer thing you're talking about.
Oh, like I've seen one just people breaking into them.
I've seen Tesla prove your theory wrong.
That window didn't break, right? It was bulletproof.
No, it did break. That was the point. That was the joke.
But no, it didn't break. It cracked.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was one focal point, right? A whole body's going to break through the whole thing.
No, they'll have one focal point, like the head or whatever.
Yeah, the head of the hammer. That's where it breaks.
It cracked, right? It didn't break. You didn't go through the thing. I'm saying for the body to go all the way through the window, all the way through, the whole body, right? Plus, there's also another consideration here, but let's keep with this. The body goes all the way through the window. It has to be even more even more than one focal point of a hammer a lot of force, because that only cracks. So the body goes all the way through. It's going to decelerate a lot. 1. 2, it's going to be a lot of friction because like the little like tears are going to be ripping at it the whole time, the corpse. As it's
That'll get you. There'll be a lot of friction, that's for sure.
I think even my 50%, I bet you almost no body makes it to the next car. I bet you it's 100% decelerated, not even making it. Not maybe to the hood of the next car, not the window.
I think it would make it.
The idea,
even at your rate, it would make it to the window.
Windows is insane. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. There's no way it breaks through 2 windows.
I think you're right.
That's crazy.
Even at your 50 miles, if it decelerates half, it still would make it all the way to the windshield. Whether or not it goes through is another story. Yeah.
Okay, Zach. So if you accept the premise that it decelerates 50%,
then it would be 25% through the next windshield, or 25 miles per hour.
It probably won't
at your 100
windshield. No, it probably won't make it through the next windshield because it's not applying nearly as much pressure.
But you're saying it's traveling
50% reduction.
It's traveling 50 miles per hour across 2 vehicles that are head-on collision. That's not that far to travel.
It went through windshield number 1 at 100 miles per hour.
So now it's 50.
I'm not even sure that you would, but I'll accept it. And then you go through the next window at 50 mile. Will you break through that?
I don't know. I would think you could break through a windshield at 50.
No, because if you could break through a windshield at 50 miles per hour, if you could break through it at 100, I feel like I could almost certainly crack a window open with a hammer in one blow. But I don't see that.
But I've seen people jump.
Like you asked me about this, and there was a...
Oh, wait. I think I know a way to prove this theory completely wrong.
Well, hold on. There was a reporter, like a really fresh out of school reporter, trying to talk about all the break-ins and about how easy it was to break into a car. And he had a hammer, and he went and smacked the window, and the hammer flew out of his hand. And it cracked a little bit the window, but it mostly didn't.
That's a side window, though, right? That's not the same.
It was a side window. I'll grant you that.
That actually is a lot different. But anyways...
But
I got a very prime example of real life people that have jumped on a car and
jumped on a car?
Didn't necessarily go through it, but basically destroyed the entire windshield to where... Ooh. And this is just without any traveling speed almost. Just jumping onto it.
They didn't go through it.
Yeah, with like their backs onto it, right? So it cracked the whole thing, to where it's like imploded.
The point is, I think they're made to crack, but not like completely break. Because like the point is, if you break, then there will be like jagged edges that are going to cut you to death. So I don't think they're even made to break.
They're made to like what is that glass called? It's like tempered glass to where it doesn't like technically shatter.
Yes, so the body won't go through.
The body's going to go through the glass. I'm telling you right now, there's definitely bodies that go through glass windshields and get thrown 20, 30 feet.
How fast bodies go through
we need a car
windows.
You know, if in my job I was in the large life loss by this time, I would be able to actually tell you. You know what? I have a claim where somebody's gone this far.
Okay, that search yielded absolutely nothing remotely related. I tried my best. But the point is, I just don't think like they're gonna... I don't know. But I doubt many people have been killed by body. I feel like that would have been a definite news story. Person not killed by the crack, but by a dead body being hurled into them. I would have heard that story. I had to have.
I don't think you would have.
Crazy news.
That's not that crazy.
A dead body killed a person? Death by dead body?
Death by dead body. Well, it could be a combination, right? You're in a head-on collision. Who knows what actually caused it, I guess.
Well, if the guy's head is sticking out of his chest.
Oh, here we go. How often do people go through the windscreen? They call it a windscreen in a car accident. Let's see.
What year is this? Because I do think going back 50 years, like, yeah,
this was asked 2 years ago.
Because I don't think that was engineered very well at all.
So this guy in 2018 said he had a coworker who was driving a flat-nosed UD. I don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't know what that means.
He was hit head-on, causing him to fly forward, taking the windshield with him, and about 20 feet down the highway where he got up and dusted the glass off.
The windshield goes with you?
That's what he said.
Point. That comes back to my friction argument.
It might be.
It's like you won't be slowed down 50% because like the drag of the window. Like,
yeah, if the window comes with you, it's definitely gonna reduce
even
some
if
speed.
it doesn't come with you, like some parts are going to be dragging on you, and that's going to drastically reduce your speed, your velocity. Which means you are not going to kill people because you are not going that fast. Your corpse.
So a lot of people do say it doesn't happen that often with modern cars because of the safety features, better seat belts, chassis created to absorb all the impact, airbags.
So you don't need seat belts.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting.
I mean, for others people's safety at this point, no, you don't. It sounds like you do not. For your safety, yes. Clearly, for your safety, yes.
Yeah, no. There is, and even among not libertarian, but just regular economists, an argument for even for your safety. And I'm not sure I buy this. But seatbelts, you shouldn't have them.
What? Why?
Because people buckle up. So they did like experiments with people buckling up versus people not buckling up. Mm-hmm. Guess who drives way less safely?
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's kind of like the helmet theory for football.
Yeah.
Or the glove theory for UFC. Like, they argue you shouldn't wear gloves because you wouldn't throw the haymakers that people may throw now.
People are way more careful if they're not wearing a seatbelt. And I'm not sure I buy that. Like, I feel like I'm careful either way.
Yeah.
But I don't know about other random...
Yeah, no, I can actually...
I do think dumb fucks are like that.
When you say it that way, yes, I could actually see a lot of people driving a little crazier because of all the safety features they have in a car nowadays, including a seatbelt.
Yeah.
I could totally see
Sometimes I drink and drive now because I'm like, the car will take care of it for me.
Also, if you're drunk and get in a car accident, you tend to be the one to survive.
Yeah.
That's just stats.
Odds will be all right.
That's just stats right there.
But yeah. So no, I don't know why we even got on this.
We went from the world economy collapsing to what's the velocity of a dead body going through a windshield in a car accident.
And that is a hard question to answer. That's a hard nut to crack right there.
Well, the sad thing is that one seemed harder to answer than will the economy collapse? Because I think our answer is probably.
We have definitive answers on that. The velocity of a corpse once going at 108 miles per hour in a wreck with no seatbelt.
Is this going to be on the math quiz?
Window going through. How fast is it going? I feel like there's going to be a mass reduction in speed.
You know what? You're right. I never stopped to think that hard about it, but you're right. The body probably wouldn't cause other people to have injuries.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't think it would.
I'm glad we got through that, though, because now I can change my...
I want to go back to the core, but I don't remember what it was, why we were arguing.
Now I can change my position on that, because I've been presented with new information, I have thought about it, and you're right.
Well, there was a point to all this, but I forgot the point. That's the hard part.
I don't remember. I think it was just a libertarian... Oh, it was masks. Being mandated to wear masks.
Oh, yeah.
Just like seatbelts.
What was the point about masks I was trying to make?
You're saying people shouldn't be forced to wear them, and I was saying they should be because they can affect other people by infecting them.
Let me think about why I was talking about that. Anyways, if you want to not wear a mask, let me just preface this. I always wear a mask. Okay, I'm not a dumb fuck. I don't want to die. But if you don't wear a mask, as long as you don't go up and breathe on people, like, intentionally, I'm okay with you being an idiot. Like, I'm okay with putting yourself into... It's like, to me, it's the same thing as, like, should you be allowed to kill yourself? Yeah, I support Dr. Kevorkian and all those guys. Like, kill yourself if you want.
But isn't it more likely that they will infect you if they get anywhere near you? Say they are infected, right, and they don't wear a mask, but you have a mask on. You are still more likely to get infected because they're not wearing the mask.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you're both wearing a mask.
Whose responsibility is it? So, I would say public places. I just don't like the government having any authority. Like, just... If lots of random retards are walking around without masks, I'm not going to go to the park. Congratulations, it's your park.
Honestly, what's funny though is I hope
you all fucking die.
I feel like outside I'm less worried about it. Like, we're not breathing the same recycled air at all.
But see, this is again like solved by private property when you're going into a private place. I do believe in very strict enforcement of private property laws.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
They say you need a mask. You need a mask to be in there. Otherwise, get the fuck out.
Yeah, your problem is the government mandating of masks, which I get.
I don't like the government doing anything unless it's absolutely necessary.
Like, government, you get out of here with your goddamn mandates.
Yeah. But I like masks. It's hard because, like for smoking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't smoke. And I don't like people that smoke around me. Right?
Uh-huh.
So I like all the anti-smoking laws in a way. But it does irritate me somewhat that, like, business owners don't really have authority over their own property.
Yeah, but once again, that definitely affects people.
It affects people, but, like...
But I guess private businesses could just be like, we're the smoke-free restaurant or bar.
Yeah, like, what about my own home? When does it stop? Like, when do you say, like...
Well, you definitely can smoke in your own home.
I know, but like I thought
well, not apartment necessarily.
I thought you would be able to say you're allowed to say who can smoke and who can't in your own business. It's basically your property. It's all your property.
Yeah, you got a good point.
If you can smoke or not, and now you can't. And at what point does it come to my own home and they're like, "We're going to tell you who can and who can't smoke, and you can't. No one can smoke in your home."
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
I totally get it. Yeah,
marijuana and all the drugs. They're just telling you what you can do in your own property.
Yeah, honestly, I also at restaurants I didn't really have a problem with smoking if there was a smoking section that was actually sectioned off. But like bars did. I'm so glad bars don't have smoking in all of them.
Yeah, that's where it's like I'm torn being a libertarian because like. I don't like smokers. I like the idea that I would have gotten on a plane before and there would be people smoking. I'm so glad that's not a thing.
Yeah, plane.
Like it took laws.
Plane's a rough one because that's definitely recycled air you're going to be breathing.
Yeah, so it's like it took a law to do it, but like I really wish. I think the problem is, like, airlines are so regulated that there can't be free entry and exit. If there were a smoke-free plane, I would have paid for that one.
Yeah,
because
I would pay for a smoke-free plane if smoking was allowed on planes still.
Yeah, but, like, there are only so many airlines that can exist with all the rules and regulations, just like banks.
I mean, like you said, I kind of agree with you because I would probably only go to most places that are smoke free, and that would probably eliminate a lot of those smoking businesses, especially since smoking's on a drastic downturn anyways. Like,
yeah, it's interesting. Like, somewhat it just comes down to culture, right? Because like 30 years ago, almost every place allowed smoking, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I bet you today, if they just said smoking's legal now, the business owner gets to choose.
Yeah, I don't think many would go back.
Yeah, they won't go back.
I think some bars would.
Some bars probably would.
There's some bars that probably allow smoking, and they're like, are kind of hush hush about it, you know?
Yeah. I heard the same thing about prohibition.
Yeah.
Is like prohibition itself was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take as a baseline what it was before prohibition and then you look afterwards, it was amazing. Is like the amount that American men were drinking and coming back and beating the fuck out of their wives.
Oh, because like drinking was so bad, like it was so accepted to drink. Yeah.
There was some guy that wrote like a huge book about prohibition and all its effects. He was on Econ Talk talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, prohibition was really bad, but one thing you don't understand is why these women were so pissed. Is that like." The average American man would drink like, I don't know how much whiskey in a day, but it was a lot. Like a shocking amount. It was like how much I usually drink for a podcast every day.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, which is absurd. And then they would end up like beating the shit out of their wives, and that's why the women were obviously protesting it. And then like afterwards, even though it was back to being as legal as it was, mm-hmm. men did not drink anywhere near as much as they used to. So the temporary imposition, even though it was horrid during that time, was a good thing overall for the country, was his argument. I was like, yeah, I guess I could see that,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Just like the prohibition of a lot of hard drugs, like people aren't, like, if you legalize it now, people are going to go like, yeah, heroin, PCP, I'm going to do all that now. Because it's been prohibited for so long, right?
I'd be like, that must be fucking crazy.
That shit's going to be fun. And a lot of people argue that if you make it legal, suddenly everyone's going to do it, where I think what you said is more likely, where most people that do it already are going to probably do it, and most people that don't do it are going to continue not doing that.
Yeah, they'll try it.
Yeah, some people might try it. You might get a couple new users.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. If like something like cocaine were legal, I'd probably like get it for like a birthday party or something.
A day.
Huh?
Like a day.
Yeah, like
just try it.
Yeah, well, like a special day. If there's like a special day, I'd get it for that. You know.
But the point is to change the culture. If like.
Yeah.
If everyone was doing cocaine and then you made it illegal for a long time, a lot of people
kind of what we did, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, so it's not exactly the same. Like, legalizing marijuana isn't quite the same. Like, imagine everyone, like, coke addicts were all over, and then you made it illegal. A lot of coke addicts would become not coke addicts.
Yeah, it's true.
And then once you made it legal again, like...
They'll be like, well, I'm off that.
What's that?
They'll be like, well, I'm done with that already. I don't need to do that again.
Yeah. So it was like a one-time thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
There's no
That's where, like,
good answer.
I try to be libertarian. The general philosophy is don't give people power when they don't, like, because people will abuse it. But sometimes I kind of like that I don't have to inhale people's smoke. I want other people to wear masks. I'm worried when other people will wear masks around me. What I don't like is, like, I don't know, like people, like cops, if they're going to give you a fine when, like, let's say I took my mask off because I just needed to take, like, I needed a breath.
Yeah,
you know, and I wasn't near anybody. I used my power of reason to be like, I am 20 feet away from people, and I take off my mask for a quick breather, and they come over and fine me for taking off my mask. Because technically the law is you have to have your mask on.
Yep, like, I totally agree with you.
That's the problem.
That brings me back to traffic laws. Like, say you're at a red light at, like, 2 a.m. in the morning, and it's like one of those fucking red lights that hasn't been like timed. Like, why can't I just go through this? There's no cars. Yeah. There's no one around me.
This is not a hypothetical. There was my apartment. where you visited,
Yeah.
there was a light, like when you go out,
Mm-hmm.
that for whatever reason, late at night, I sat there for so long.
Yeah.
It used to be a stop sign, number one, and then it became a traffic light. And it was red. I turned left on a red light because I could clearly see no one was going. And like it was just, they made it so absurdly long because they thought no one was leaving the apartment complex at like 1 a.m, I guess.
Yeah, so it
That was my left.
It was like on a timer rather than like, hey, there's a car here, we should turn it green.
Yeah, but it had to be like a timer based on the time of day. Because if it was like 3 p.m., the red light wouldn't be as long.
Mm-hmm.
If I left at like 2 a.m.,
Yeah.
I don't even know if the red light ever turned green. Like, was I just supposed to turn right? I just said fuck it and turned left. Because I sat there so long. Because it was out of an apartment complex. So I guess they thought like people weren't going to be leaving the apartment complex at like 2 a.m. So they thought, well, let's just make it way longer. Because the other road is used by people traveling through. So it could be used by people at 2 to 3 a.m., right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas people leaving their apartment complex, very unlikely.
Yeah.
I turned left on red lights several times. Because you can clearly see. And again, it used to be a stop sign. Like, that's the other thing. It was like, it was way better then. Because I could see, I could look, no one else is here, I'm going to turn.
That's funny. Yeah, I've been at several red lights where I'll be like, man, I think in my head, I should just run this because why am I stopped here? There's clearly no cars. I can see. Obviously, no one's coming. It's a red light. Yeah. It's late at night where there's like no other cars on the road, but I'll stop because I don't want to get a ticket.
Yeah.
Ohio introduced a law where if it's a malfunctioning red light, so if you think it's malfunctioning and it's not like reading, like it's supposed to change because it's not reading your thing, you can stop and go. And I'm like, can I
Maybe
just
that's what happened with the
use
car
that now?
In my apartment, something. Because I swear I sat there so long.
Yeah, I think it's just some red lights are made to be on a timer, and they're really long timers because there's normally not traffic coming the opposite way.
Yeah, there was something going on with that. I swear I sat there so long and saw nothing going across, and I was like, fuck it. Because it's a left turn, too. That's what made me pause for so long until I went...
Yeah, left turn on a red light's pretty...
This is absurd. I have to go.
That's a tough one to do at night.
And I still did it. I left turned on a red light, knowing it was a red light after so long.
Yep. I feel like there's just got to be a certain amount of time you wait at a red light before you're like, fuck this, nobody's coming.
Yeah, exactly. There should be a law like that.
Like I said, Ohio has a law. I just looked it up where it's like malfunctioning traffic control if it exhibits no colored lights or colored right arrows, exhibits a combination of such lights or arrows that fails to clearly indicate the assignment of right-of-way, or if the vehicle is a bike or electric bicycle, the signal otherwise malfunctioning. Oh, because the vehicle can't. So if you're on like a lightweight bicycle or something like that, it won't recognize the pressure.
Oh, okay.
To change the light. So you can't get away with that in a vehicle if it didn't recognize my pressure.
No, I think the law should be, if your thoughts ever turn to, like, why am I spending my life wasting away, sitting at red lights, just waiting? This is just my life. maybe I just end it now if this is all there
Dude,
is.
I'm telling you though, Nicole and I sometimes are driving late night at Columbus, and there's like spots all around the house where it's like 3 or 4 red lights in a row, and you're like, there's fucking nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I could easily
Burn
go
through them.
Yeah, like, why is this light red right now?
Now there is one qualifier to this. This one time, I was a little high. Stupidly drove. And the red light seemed like it took forever, but it was only probably like a little bit of time.
But it's probably like 10 seconds. You're like, oh my God. I've been here for a fucking hour.
And then I was like, I'll never drive high again.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my God, my life has passed before me, and the light is still not green.
I literally lived a whole life at this light.
I really thought I could get back home until it kicked in, is the thing.
Oh, yeah, you goofed, man.
Yeah, no, that was wrong. That was wrong of me.
You definitely shouldn't be doing the I'm going to eat it and drive home and race to see if it'll kick in after or not. Yeah, that's a trap.
That did not work.
That is a trap.
Like we've been sitting here our whole life.
So you didn't just smoke, you ate.
Yeah. I definitely did. And I was like, wow. And I've never done that again. Let me be clear. You do it once and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
That was a 5-minute drive, but it felt like an eternity.
Did I ever tell you when I got a high delivering pizzas?
No.
So, have you done dabs?
No.
Okay, so dabs is like
LSD?
No, it's pot. It's just like
okay.
Geez, I don't even know what it is. It's like kind of like wax THC. I don't even know how to. I don't know exactly what it is. I just know it's like pure THC put in some kind of wax form, and like to smoke it, you need like a blowtorch and stuff. Like it's not normal. Anyways, so I was at this undisclosed pizza place delivering pizzas when the manager asked if I want to get high, so I went and got high with him. But he was smoking dabs, and I've never.
Lovely manager.
Huh? What's that?
Lovely manager.
Yeah. It's a pizza place. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Anyways, you know, I smoke. I'm okay with like smoking like a little high, but that's just hitting like a normal bowl and like a little hit, like enough to it's not gonna be like that bad. But I did dabs, and dabs is like eating a pot brownie. Like you get that high. I didn't know this, and I was like, oh, let me just do a little hit. Because, you know, I didn't want to get too high because I still had like an hour in the shift to deliver pizzas. So I took the hit. Dude, I was like taken to another universe. And I went on 2 deliveries. And when I got back from the second delivery, I looked at him and like, dude, I'm just going to wash dishes for the rest of the night. I'm not taking another delivery. It was
that bad?
Dude, it was so bad. Like trying to drive on that. I was paranoid driving home for the first time, like thinking like a cop's gonna pull me over. Like I've never been that paranoid driving home. That was when I lived close to that pizza place too. Like I only lived like a 5-minute drive away. But yeah, dude, that was not good driving on dabs. I was fucking blitzed and like interacting with random people. Like you think about it, pizza delivery is you literally go to random people's houses and like just hand them pizza. Yeah. When you're fucking high as shit, that is not a cool experience.
Yeah. No, so the day, not the day, it was maybe a few days after. Weed was legalized in California. I took way too many edibles, and I went to work the next day.
Hey,
it was still hitting me.
Oh yeah.
And so I interacted with my coworkers, but I'm not like my managers aren't high. They're definitely people that don't get high, most of them.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to one of my coworkers, and at the time, like I just sat there and stared at her, and in retrospect, I was sitting there thinking, can she tell I'm still a bit fucking high? Because going over my words, like, did they make sense? Because she's giving me a look, and I give her a look back.
Dude,
I'm pretty sure she was like, what you said made no sense. And I just sat there and stared, like, thinking in my head, like, does she know I'm high as fuck, or does she just think I'm retarded?
That's what it felt like. Dude, when we were in Vegas and saw the Blue Man Group.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that felt like when that lady was talking to us, and I was like talking with her, dude. The whole time I was like, I'm so fucking blitzed, girl. Like, stop talking to me. I just want to watch the show. Just start
Do
show.
you remember that show being amazing?
Yeah, it was so good. So fucking good. But pre-show, talking to that lady was horrible.
I remember that.
Because, like, the whole time I was trying to answer her questions and she was trying to hold a conversation. I was like, I'm in no state of mind to hold a conversation with a stranger right now, lady.
Like the whole... it's like the whole time, like, to me to describe it is like when you're high and you're trying to hold a conversation with a normal person that's not high and doesn't know you're high.
Yeah.
Is you're trying to prevent yourself from being like, I like turtles!
You're trying so hard not to appear so high. But when you're high with other people who are high, you're just like, I'm fucking high.
Yeah. Then they understand.
I mean, we were seeing the Blue Man Group.
And I like turtles. Who knows what the hell's going on with you?
That would have been fucking hilarious if I just turned to her and like, listen, I'm so fucking high because I'm about to see the Blue Man Group. I cannot hold a conversation.
It should, to be clear, it should have been obvious. We are two grown men seeing the Blue Man Group.
Yeah, it's not like we brought our kids with us.
Show. Yeah, this is a family show.
Yeah.
What do you think the draw is for two grown men?
Right? Dude, it really was fucking amazing, though.
Yeah.
That's a show I would actually probably see sober, just to like
Yeah.
get the two different
I've
experiences.
Seen it sober with Chloe.
Yeah.
We're not two grown men. We're just not exactly a family, but we're trying to entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as good.
No?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
It's
but
still
it's definitely
enjoyable.
More geared towards kids and high people.
Yeah.
Kids and high people. That's their main demo.
Families and people that are fucking on the moon.
Which is just like everything. SpongeBob is like towards like kids and high people.
Yeah, you're right. It really is. Why do those appeal to the same crowd? I don't know. I watch SpongeBob not high, and I enjoy it.
A little bit, but it's like...
It's funnier high, I'm sure.
Anything I enjoyed as a kid that I don't enjoy now, if I get high, I will enjoy it again. I don't know why, but that's it. Like, I feel like it turns off some brain cells I've accumulated as being an adult.
I think I think getting high breaks down barriers you have of enjoying certain things.
Yeah, it's something like that. Cause like
there's certain barriers you have as an adult that you've built up for I don't even know how to explain it. Like not being childish, I guess. That being high lets you go back to.
Yeah, it's like I'll just sit there and judge like any show, like the quality of the show, that it doesn't mean any. Like I'll just be a cynic, I think. Like just think about all the things that's wrong
probably what
with
it is. A little cynical.
But if I'm high, I'll just enjoy it for what it is, and I can't do that if I'm not high.
Yeah, see, I can do that with shows, especially like SpongeBob. I'm not. What am I going to be cynical about SpongeBob? How am I going to go into SpongeBob being cynical?
The jokes you've already seen, and it's like I'm not going to laugh at the joke I saw coming. But if I'm high, I probably wouldn't have seen it coming.
That's probably another. You know what? That's another thing is you probably don't see the jokes, like you can't predict them as easily.
Yeah, yeah, because like part of your brain's all fucked up. I don't know, something. It's something. TV is more, and music is way more enjoyable. Yeah,
I don't know. I know it increases your senses. I don't know why it makes music sound so much better, but it definitely does.
Yeah.
For some reason, you can appreciate even things like the Blue Man Group that are playing fucking trash cans and shit so much better.
Yeah. It's very weird.
I'm sure they've done studies on what it does.
At some point, like consciousness, it's hard to like break that down.
Yeah. Now I want to get high and watch SpongeBob.
What time is it for you? Like
It's 1:30 a.m.
Okay, is Nicole asleep?
Yeah.
Okay, get high and go bug Nicole. Be like, hey Nicole, it's SpongeBob.
Yeah, I watch the SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. I'm high as fuck.
I'm definitely not going to wake her up at 1:30 and do that. But tomorrow,
You might think it's a good idea.
I might have suggestions.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah, speaking of which, it is 1:30, so.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you go.
All right.
Good podcast.
Yeah. Talk at you later.
All right. Later.
Bye.